pleasure of introducing your speaker for today. It's not every day that BHS gets a #1 New York Times bestseller to come and speak to us all about our businesses and how to create multiple streams of revenue. So today, Joel Comm is here. He lives right here in Denver, and I've got a lot of questions for him. I don't know if you do as well, but please help me put your hands together for your speaker, Joel Comm.
Thanks, buddy. Good morning. So we have two choices here this morning because I like to just shake things up. I can either give you a canned presentation, which I made for you, or we can do Q&A and we could just talk about anything: social media, online business, mobile marketing, making money with your website. So we'll go with the show of hands, okay? Who wants to see what I've prepared? Who would rather ask me questions? Oh my gosh, it's close, right? If you didn't raise your hand, you got to do this time. I'm going to actually do a count. This is how spontaneous we're going to be. Who wants to see what I prepared? Put your hand up, leave it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, that's what we're going to do. If you got questions and we don't have time today, then catch me on Facebook or the Twitters or anywhere else. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about social poetry. And this is a social media approved zone, and since we have round tables, that gives me the freedom to just kind of walk around like this. Is that okay? We do that. So you guys want to take pictures, go ahead and do that. Post tweet status updates, share it with me at Joel Comm. Tag me, let's have some fun, because usually right about now, let's see, 5 minutes to 8, I'm doing this. I think I'll get out of bed in about an hour. So I'm here for you, so let's have some fun with it. These are a few of the businesses that I've either worked as a consultant, partnered, or trained. And if you look for me on social media, you'll pretty much find me everywhere, but you'll find that I spend more time on Facebook and Twitter than anywhere else. So those are usually the best haunts to catch me in. My objectives, whenever I speak, write, do podcasts, any types of interviews, are threefold. It's always to inspire first, because let's face it, anybody can teach their stuff. When we know our stuff, it's pretty easy to speak what we know. But if you don't touch somebody in here, odds are you're not going to unlock anything that remembers anything here. So step 1 is always to inspire. Step 2 is to educate, and step 3 is to have fun. And sometimes I wonder if entertaining is actually my goal, and I should have been a late night show host or something instead. Right, I know as well. There was an opening. Colbert's taken over, and one of the ways I like to do this is by posting photo quotes on social media. And we're going to really just concentrate on these this morning, because I want to encourage you to do likewise. Whether it's to inspire people, to equip them with a piece of knowledge, or it's to entertain them, photo quotes are a great way to do that. A picture says what? 1,000 words. So you add 5 more to it, now you got something that says a little bit more. And one day I was looking at my bookshelf, and when I say my bookshelf, I mean my books, and I looked at it and I said, you know, these are my stories, but it's not about me, right? Because everybody has a story. And so I made this little photo quote, and I posted this, and I noticed that the amount of engagement was off the roof. The number of comments, likes, and shares, and tweets, and retweets, and favorites was unusually high. And I began posting more of these because something about that touched people. And one day, somebody was accusing me of something or other, who knows what it is. And I just remember thinking, you know, why can't people just mind their own business? And I said, I'll be me and you be you. You know, fair enough. Crazy engagement on this. People really, one, they like to see a face because we connect with eyes and smile. But 2, something that's part of my life. Now, these photo quotes make it look like I really know what I'm doing with Photoshop, right? But I don't, and I'm going to give you a secret right now. There's actually apps. If you have an iOS device, you'll want to get an app called WordSwag. Not going to go in depth on how it works right now, but it's really easy to use. It's idiot-proof even for somebody like me, but it lets you take either existing background images or your own photos and type your text in and then come up with these real cool typographies that you can then put on top of your picture, select your colors, positioning, save them, and then you can share them out via social media. WordSwag for iOS, and if you're on Android, there's an app called PicLab, P-I-C-L-A-B, which is also available on iOS. I found WordSwag first, and I love it. So what I want to do is go through some photo quotes, and I'm not sure how many we have time for. Once I get the high sign from the back, I'm done. So I'm going to share some of these with you and some of the stories and thoughts behind them, because each one tells a story. Back in 2008, as I was writing the first edition of Twitter Power, I think when Wiley approached me to write the book, I had about 5,000 followers, and everybody thought, wow, how do you get 5,000 followers on Twitter? And that was a lot. And at that time, I said, well, here's the deal about Twitter. It's the water cooler of our time. Because when you go to the water cooler, what do you talk about? Really everything, right? And anything. It doesn't matter. It's all fair game. And that's what social media really is. It's the water cooler where we stop what we're doing and we go to engage with people and discover what's happening in their world or sharing what's happening in our world. And it could be, the topic could be anything or everything. Back in 2010, I went through that was the beginning of a personal transformation for me. After many years of marriage and raising kids, I had some changes in my personal life, and things in my business were not doing well, although the appearances were that everything was booming. Made some bad hires, some poor decisions, and I decided that it was time to sell off some of my larger properties, let go of my whole staff of 38 over the period of about a year and a half. I had an office up in Loveland, and take a sabbatical. And through that period, I found myself again and connected. Physically, I got healthier. Emotionally, I got healthier. Spiritually, I got healthier. And I realized as I was sharing some of the changes I had gone through with some friends that they were still stuck where they were. And there's no judgment that we're all on our own journey, and things happen in their time for the right reason. But I recognize that people who what did I say? People who don't grow and change can't relate to people who do. Does that make sense? I'm also a pretty optimistic person, except when I'm not. And well, we all have our moments, right? I'm no different than you. I've got my worries and fears and doubts and questions and have my bad days. But overall, I'm a pretty optimistic guy. And I believe this. I believe that everything that we've done, everything that we've experienced, everything that we've lived up to this point, they're all building blocks. Doesn't matter how young we are or how old we are. They're all building blocks, and we build upon them. And that means that we're more prepared for the next thing. So I can optimistically say with great faith and belief that your best days are before you. Do you believe it?
Yes.
One morning I woke up, and I'd wake up, but I wasn't getting out of bed. And then when I did get out of bed, I decided I don't want to handle email, I'm going to go for a walk. And then when I got back from a walk, I decided I was going to watch some TV. And after TV, I decided I was going to play some computer games, and I realized I'm not working today. And I posted this: I'm not getting a thing done today, and you know what? That's okay. I believe that quality of life, how we choose to live our lives on a daily basis, is way more important than how much money we make. I think we have an opportunity to be way more influential with others when we live authentically and from a place of freedom. And I've made my millions, lost my millions, I've made money again, and I got to tell you, it's not about the money. In fact, my current attitude is I would much rather be out and about connecting with people, which is why I'm here this morning, and because Anthony asked me, and traveling and experiencing life than focusing on building businesses. I have a business, generates revenue, but this quality of lifestyle is way more important to me. Can't remember who it was that decided it was appropriate to stick a label on me. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't important, didn't matter. It was one person's opinion about something. And I realized that I am not a jar. We so easily put labels on people. It's so convenient to say, oh, this person is that, or this one is that, or, well, this person voted for this person, so they must be that, bless you, and put them into a box and into a jar. And all of us are so much more than that one definition. We're so much richer, we're so much deeper, and I catch myself doing it. Catch myself in my mind or with my words labeling somebody, and I got to stop and think, dang it, how did that feel when somebody did that to you? Not good. So next time you think you know somebody and want to put that label on them, think of this jar and go, there's a lot of ingredients on that jar, and most of them aren't good for you. By the way, that's a different subject. Similar to that one, which I found very empowering, is regardless of what it is in life, there's always those that love to give their advice and tell you what you should be doing. It's okay when it's your mom. Okay? You should be doing this. You should be on LinkedIn and on YouTube and on Pinterest and on Instagram and on Twitter and Google Plus and Facebook, and you should live your life this way. You shouldn't do that. Don't let anybody should on you. You're the one that gets to decide. You're in control. I love the play on words on that one. It makes me happy. People who go with the status quo usually don't make the history books. I've never been one to really like playing by the rules. I know that's hard to believe. But it really is the rule breakers that are the world changers. Yes, there's decorum, and yes, there's etiquette, and yes, there are laws. I didn't mean for that to be funny, but it came out that way, didn't it? But even civil disobedience has a place, right? Don't be afraid to break the rules. Bend them, twist them, mold them. Don't do it just because the person before you said, well, that's always how we've done it. 2 words for that. Screw that. By the way, that's as far as I get with my language. There's big discussions right now about people, online especially, about speakers cursing from the platform. I'm not a big fan. I don't judge the people who do it. Well, no, let me revise that. I probably do judge the people that I don't want to judge the people that do it. So I make it my aim to not be judgmental about it, understanding that those are their choices. But I think, why automatically offend a portion of your audience that might be sensitive to that? Maybe it's not a big deal. I don't know. Did I just rabbit trail? Totally did. That's maybe somebody who does that is a rule breaker, and they've got a following that appreciates that. So, are we streaming live? We're not streaming dead. We're not streaming at all. This is a live stream right here. I'm streaming live to you. It's been said so many times that we are unique and special that I think we don't hear it anymore. It becomes so trite, but yet it's so profound. Close your eyes for a second, please. Think about, there was never a you before you, and there will never be another you after you. The passions that you have, your talents, your skills, your abilities, your personality, all that makes you you. You are the only one. Just soak that in for a minute. One of a kind. And I think that's pretty dang cool. Turn to your neighbor and say, you are special.
You're very special.
Didn't see that coming, but I sure did like it. Thanks for the music. Well done. I started like I was just going to get into my bliss. And how many times are you at a networking function, much like this, and you turn and say somebody and say, so what do you do? And what you're actually saying is, hurry up and tell me what you do so I can tell you what I do. That question is actually, to use some of your languaging, I believe, a sacred question. Because when you ask somebody what they do, they open up to you, you get a glimpse into who they really are. It's a window to the soul. Don't think about answering and telling them what you do. Just listen. Take it in. It's a gift. And if they're interested in what you do after they're done, they'll ask you. But it's not about you. It's not about me. I'm not here to serve my own life. I believe that's why any of us are put here, so that we can get it all and have it all. While there's nothing wrong with having it all, we're here to serve. We're here to make a difference. We're here to use our God-given passions, talents, skills, abilities, personality to make an impact. So stop and listen when you ask somebody what they do. In fact, completely put out of your mind even the fact that you might have an opportunity to tell them what you do. When you ask people what they do, you know how you can serve them and what they need. This didn't come out right when I first posted it, and I had to go back and kind of explain it. But when I go to a restaurant or have any kind of service, I automatically will tip 20%. Even if the service is bad, especially if the service is bad, because I think to myself, you know what, I'm fortunate that I'm not waiting tables for a living, because for me, I would hate that. Nothing wrong with waiting tables. Love that we have people that love to serve. God bless them. Thank you for that. They work hard. But when I posted this initially, some people thought, whoa, what's wrong with waiting tables? Nothing. It's great. That's why you should tip them well. Does that make sense? With social media, we begin to think life is a popularity contest. How many likes do I get? How many comments? How many shares are there? How many tweets and retweets and favorites? And my self-esteem gets all tied up in it. And it shouldn't. Everybody's not going to like us. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I don't expect to be. I don't know that I have enemies out there because I'm a pretty nice guy, but there's probably people that, you know, to their friends go, boy, I don't like that Joel Comm at all. He said this or he does that, and they stick a label. They think they know who I am. It's okay, because if the President of the United States can't get above a 50% approval rating, why should I expect to do any better? And why should you? You don't have to be liked by everybody. There's 7 billion people in the world. It's okay if a couple billion or so don't approve. Well, I just kind of shared this in our little moment. Everyone is created by God with unique passions, talents, skills, ability, personality, and presence. You're unique, and you're here for a reason. And why I'm looking up at the building or whatever, I don't know. My daughter took some of these pictures. She's good, yeah. I remember the catalyst for this. There was so much noise on social media and people arguing. I think it was political season. I had enough. I'm like, could you just go outside? All this will pass, and it's a beautiful day. So just shut up and enjoy the view. We change We're on our own little evolutionary growth. What's the word I'm looking for? Something or other. Path, journey, thank you. Synonym, finder, right there, Deborah. Appreciate that. And we tend to be hypercritical of ourselves where we are because we're not where we want to be. We think we should be further down the road on this journey, whatever further down the road looks like. Oh, I should have grown my business to a certain level by now, or I should be healed from the strife and the problems that I had as a child, or trauma that happened as an adult, whatever it is. But accepting the moment is that saying you're not who you were, and yet you're not who you will be, but you are who you are, and I'll add, you are where you are, and you know what? Aces. That's just great. It took me until almost 50, and now I'm 51, to learn to start just accepting the moment. Like, this is good. Right now, this is good. I like this. You like this? You're here, you're present, you're with friends. Maybe you're inspired, maybe you're not, but you're here and you're alive, and it's good. It's good, and it's fine. Who knows their stuff? Show of hands if you know your stuff. Of course you do. Once you know your stuff, it's no longer about what you know. It's about who you know, which you're here, right? And you're here to be with the who you knows of the world. You're all the who you knows of the world. Okay, that was supposed to be funny. Didn't? They don't always work. It's good that I don't get paid per joke, huh? Sometimes I make photo quotes based on others. I don't like taking other people's quotes frequently. People do that all the time, and I know other people say some really great things, but I know each of you have enough to say of your own that you don't need to be quoting others, but Willy Wonka is one of my heroes. Not the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka either. Gene Wilder, the genius, the self-confident, insane, eclectic, egomaniac Willy Wonka, not the pathetic whatever that was that they redid. I love this quote. We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of the dreams. As I said, sometimes I like to quote others. I was going to say other people, but one day I was looking through my stock photos because I was looking for a photo to match a quote, and I ran across this picture of the cow, and I thought, well, what if the cow had his own photo quote or her own photo quote? And what would the cow say? And I hearkened back to the days of my little Fisher-Price thing. Did you have one of those things where the cow goes, oh? No?
That was 30, 40 years ago.
What, they don't still make those anymore? Now you push a button. Oh. I know. Let's have a moment. Let's start a Fisher-Price campaign, a petition right now. Somebody get on that. At Fisher-Price. Bring back the barnyard. What do they call that? See and say. Thank you, Tony. I knew there was a reason you were here this morning. Your purpose has been served. He's out. I don't do this to get shares and likes and comments. I do it because it's coming from a place of freedom to do whatever I want to do and be who I want to be. And that's what shines through, and that's why people like this stuff, because it's real. How many of these that I've shown you are about business? Very few. One about Twitter. Most of what I post is not business oriented. I'm not there on social media going, buy my stuff. We buy from people we like, know, and trust. People don't like it when we hammer them with our offers. There's time and place for it, but for me, it probably makes up about 5% of my social media usage. Who follows me on Facebook or Twitter and sees this stuff. Oh, wow, several of you. Cool. Do you see me? What's that, sweetie? Oh, well. She would if she had a Facebook. Thank you. What's your name?
Grace.
Hi, Grace. I'm Joel. So nice to meet you. You are a beautiful little girl. And I have a feeling she's got a big heart and a big future.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm already an entrepreneur.
Well, look at you. Maybe you can give me some tips. No? She's going to keep all her secrets to herself.
She's quoting me already. She's writing.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I'm not a believer in luck or chance. I think we're here for a reason. I think that we have purpose, and I believe in living our destiny. And I'm still figuring out what that is for me. So it's a journey. You don't arrive at a place. There's people that think, oh, you're a New York Times best-selling author. You arrived. No. I have a title. I have something that I've accomplished. But wait, there's still a pulse here. I'm not done yet. I don't want to just rest on my laurels and go, well, that was it. I'm out. No, I want to create more. I want to do more. I want to accomplish more. I want to touch more lives. So there's a destiny. And it is easy to get busy. I saw this photo, and I'm like, all right, what am I doing here? Clearly holding up this wall. You'll notice there's a lot of silliness and fun in what I post, and it's just an extension of who I am. I'm the same guy wherever it is you find me. How many speakers are in this room? People who okay. So somebody told me very early on in my speaking career that the speakers that struggle the most are the ones that are incongruent with their stage persona and their offstage persona. And I decided, well, how about I just be who I am wherever I am, and I won't have to deal with that issue. Oh gosh, more silliness. I thought I'd put a few more serious ones in here, but hopefully you're enjoying these. And I remember looking at this picture and thinking, what profound thought am I thinking here? And all that came to mind is this. Sometimes I look off in the distance and appear to be pondering deep thoughts just for effect. That's all I had. So much for profound, and yet people love it. What else is there to be said? When you've got cats and bacon and the internet, that's it. You've said it all. We've already determined that my sense of humor is probably my predominant feature, and found this picture from Disney a couple of years ago, and Pooh is all thug-like, and so was I, and I love the play on words there, as you're never too old for some Pooh. He said, Pooh. This was posted the day after my 50th birthday. And it was. And this is true. I've got to wrap up here in a minute because I'm getting the signals. And what happens when you get the signals is when your time's up, your mic goes out, and then the hook comes on. It's not good. I've really discovered that the secret to my success is not my own ingenuity or whatever it is I've done, but it's the people that I've surrounded myself with. These are some great guys, and this is at Cisco Live. Last year, they did a special VIP thing for attendees with an Imagine Dragons Lenny Kravitz concert at the baseball stadium in San Francisco. We're sitting in the dugout. It's awesome. Hang out with cool people doing awesome things. It's true, I do have flying monkeys. I didn't bring one. I'm not afraid to use them, and just for the sake of time, I'm going to go quickly right to this last one that, yeah, kind of says it all, doesn't it? We are living in the dash. You are all in the dash right now. And it's what you do here today and now that matters, not the beginning and the end dates that'll be on the tombstone. For those of you that want to come to an event that I'm putting on, October 2nd is the next social media shenanigans meetup. I've already got my guest lined up for it. We had 150 people come out to Denver for the last one. It was last month. Chris Brogan was in town as my guest for it. I can't tell you who my guest is because I can't announce it until we nail the venue down, but we're looking at October 2nd. That's a link to the meetup group on meetup.com. So if you'll go to comm.us, yes, that's my own URL shortener. How cool is that? comm.us/meetup group. Then you can be on the meetup list for that. And I like to be generous and give things away. If you want a free digital copy of my book, Social Poetry 2, which actually features photo quotes from 150 social and business influencers, I believe our own Deborah Jason has one in there as well. And you will be entertained, inspired, and hopefully learn something. socialpoetrybook.com. Follow me at Joel Comm if you guys want to come see me. Anthony said I should bring a couple books. So I brought Ka-Ching and Social Poetry together. They're usually $40. If you want them both, you can have them for $30. And there's Do Good Stuff stickers on the tables. Make sure everybody gets one of those. Thank you so much for having me this morning. You guys are great. Appreciate you. Yes, we have one question.
Is there a photo quote program for Windows? Android and Apple.
You know, I don't know, but if you need to make photo quotes on a Windows phone and there's not an app for, yes, Canva, Canva.com, Canva.com. Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
Go
Anthony.
Comm, pioneer of the internet with the last name Comm.
Thanks again.
Good job, man.
Thanks, brother.
So, if you'll pick up the index card that's sitting on the table in front of you, you'll see who our next speaker is. She already introduced herself today. Her name's all you have, of course. She just launched a book. So, ladies,